Your boobs real?
Why do they call you Big Sean?
You're gonna have to find out.
Actually attracted?
To you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've said to her that I see it more as a friendship.
This episode for me has been very emotional, I think, because I was dreading reviewing it just because of the love triangle that is Sean, Nick, and Jawa. I didn't want that for them. I wish they had left them out of the life triangles on reality TV. I was side eyeing Ethan for his comments that he made, and also Creed. Creed is a jackass. I'm sorry. He's a jackass because how dare he try and play girls? He's just upset Sophie, and then now he's in a love triangle whereby he's telling Flavia one thing, and then he's going to Imogen and telling him another totally different thing. And the fact that he's flirting with Imogen in Flavia's presence just put me off him completely, and I don't get how Imogen thinks that's okay, knowing for a fact that he's done more or less the same thing to Sophie. I don't get it. Anyway, I digress. Hi there, it's Valerie again. Welcome back to my channel. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Too Hot to Handle, Season 4, Episode 8. So the guests wake up and they have their morning chat, and then Lana lets it be known that, it's important this week that the participants sort of commit to the process, and those in relationships need to commit to their partners. So everybody wakes up. They get off on with their day. After obviously Creed was flirting with Imogen in bed while he was sitting next to Flavia. I don't get that nonsense. And then Ethan decides to wake up and go and approach Imogen and ask her if her breasts are real. In my opinion, that is the moment he bought himself a ticket back home. They allowed him to make, sort of judge people's bodies and stuff. The ladies say, "Oh, you're beautiful, you're there." He got away with that. He got away with everything else, and I think this you got away with gyrating on the for JJ in the class that they had. But this time, I think it was a step too far. I don't know whether Imogen went and complained and said she wasn't happy with that, or whatever happened. That's the moment Lana decided it was time for him to go home. And then we go on to Nick is busy, channeling. He's trying to have a conversation with Jawa to find out where they are and see if they can commit to one another. He knows for a fact that Jawa appears interested in Sean. Sean then approaches Jawa and sort of has a conversation with her. I don't buy Sean. If you watched Love Island USA, you will know Sean is using the same playbook that Chaz used on Serenity. Chaz went in wanting a white girl. When she turned him down, that's when he started going on about my black queens. And this is the same thing that Sean has done. He came in, he chose Kayla, he knew Jawa was there. He knew there was a black girl there. If not Jawa, he could have gone for Dominic. But no, he left the two of them and went for Kayla. When Kayla turned him down and told him that she was committed to Seb, that's when he started saying, "Oh, I love my black queens." If he loves his black queens, he knew that Java was in a relationship or was in a coupling with Nick. He should have left her alone and he should have gone for Dominic because Dominic is single at this point in time. It was very heartbreaking for Nick because you could see him. He came out and he saw Sean busy, moisturizing Jawa's legs. And being the person that he is, he just walked away. He just kept quiet and walked away and didn't say anything. And I think by the time Jawa decided to stop it, it was a bit too late. So I don't get, oh, my black queen, my black queen. He's just using that as an excuse. He's trying to get himself some screen time because I think he's seen that Nigel is, going through a lot after having been the star of the show, and suddenly he's barely seen in any episode. And then Creed has the conversation. I think it was important for the girls to let. It was important for Kayla and Britain to let Flavia know that she needs to have a conversation with Creed because Creed will use the same playbook he used on Sophie on her if she's not careful. They have a conversation and sort of she asks Creed to sort of tell her the truth. Is he really committed to her or is he interested in getting to know Imogen? First of all, he has a conversation with Imogen, tells Imogen that he is attracted to her, and sort of implies that he wants to get to know her. He's not really that serious about Flavia, and then goes to Flavia and tells her exactly the opposite of that, which I don't get. Why you're being recorded? You're on TV. What do you think? Oh God, I don't know. He upsets me. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Have a party, and oh, my heart is breaking for Nick in this episode. They have a party, and Jawa is busy twerking on Sean, and Nick is just standing there. He's just looking, and he doesn't say anything until they're called to the cabana. They sit down, and it's revealed that Creed is going home, and Creed knew he was going home. Yes, he was upset. I think they must have had a conversation with him prior to him being told he's going home, because you could tell he was very nervous when they revealed that someone was going home. I think the producers or somebody had a conversation with him about his comments towards the ladies. And so he found out he was going home. Sophie found out she was going home. Sophie had been complaining bitterly that she wanted to go home because she couldn't see herself having a connection with anyone else, and she didn't want to be there. And so when she was told why she was going home, she agreed. She said, "Yeah, that's right. That is the truth. I can't argue with that." And so it was sad. It was really sad. But I think she had done her best and was, felt it was time to go home, and Lana let her go home. And then um and then Jawa and because after that Nick decided told Jawa they needed to sit down and talk, and I could see how you can see how much they love each other and how much they care about each other and how much they're trying not to hurt each other in any way because of the way Nick sort of approached. I Nick has a lot of emotional maturity for me for someone his age because he approached her, sat down, and started to have a conversation with her and told her this is going to be hard, but we need to talk. And so, you know, with Jawa, in which Jawa reveals that Nick did moisturize her legs, and also that her twerking on him was just not a casual dance. She He is the type of guy that she would date, and she's not sure whether she's ready to commit herself to Nick. And you can see Nick is heartbroken. He really is. You can see he's been crying. I think that scene was quite long because you can tell that both of them were crying, and a lot of it must have been edited out for the little bits. You can tell these are two people who care about one another. I don't know why they have to put them in a love triangle. Why can't people just meet on reality TV, fall in love, and off they ride into the sunset? I know life is not always like that, but at least do that for them. So as Nick agrees to give Jawa time, and this is why I say he comes with a lot of emotional maturity because instead of screaming and shouting that you have to choose between him and her, he told her, I will give you the time you want to get to know him, but just know that, I'm not going to be hanging around forever. And this is the second time. The first time he was willing to let it slide the Seb kissing thing, and I think just because it was before he expressed his interest in her, and this time she knows how he feels about her, and the fact that I think she's concerned. She's worried. She's worried that if she lets her guard down, she falls in love with Nick. He's going to break her heart. She's already said before that, I am someone who tries to hurt people before they hurt me. And so I think this is why she's sort of entertaining Sean. And because she's expressed to Nick that, Sean is her type, Nick has decided to sort of take a step back and allow her to experience that. Because he said before that I believe in letting things go. If they're meant for me, they're meant for me. If they're not, they're not. And I think, in his opinion, he thinks if I let her go, if she's really serious about me and she wants to be in a committed relationship with me, she will come back. If she's not, then that it is what it is. And I'm so scared because I think if Jawa really commits to Sean, Nick is going to leave the show before the show ends. That's the impression that I get. So I haven't watched till the end. I think Nick is going to leave the show before the show ends, and because I don't see him having a connection with anyone else, unlike Sean, who came in interested in Kayla and then turned around and said Jawa. He has always, from day one, said Jawa was his number one, and he has pursued her, and he has continued to make sure that she understands how he feels about her. Um, and Britain, for me, this episode, Britain was the counselor that everybody needed because she then sat down with Jawa to sort of find out what's going on, why is Jawa, where's Jawa's head in regards Sean and Nick. And I think she was right to tell her that you need to be careful that you might, if you pursue Sean, you might end up losing Nick, which no one would fault him for that. So it was good that she gave an honest opinion. She didn't give a vanished opinion, which I like. And then I, Sean, for me, I will say this reminds me of Chance. And the fact that Nick is busy saying, I'm giving you the opportunity to choose what you want to do. And he then goes to Jawa and says to her, oh, I want you in my bed tonight. And it's like, not really. Is that why you want to get to know her or what? Um, I think he's just after airtime. I think he's just after an opportunity. He's not really interested in Jao. I think if there were other girls that look like Kayla around that were available, and they told him they were available, he would have turned for them. He would never have entertained Jao. The girls have a seminar where they speak about, their vaginas and letting things go, and the fact that every man you sleep with is an. I don't know how I feel about that. I have no opinion about that. Really, I have no opinion. It is what it is. I didn't get that seminar. If they learned, they learned. If they didn't, they didn't. I still feel that Jawa needs to stay with Nick because he is the one who came in and made her his first choice and has done everything to prove that she is his first choice and is interested in her. Everybody else, Nigel, we barely see him. He's just in the background now. Poor him. He played himself. I like the fact that Dominic, I wish Dominic had managed to meet someone who was interested in her because I think Dominic would have had a very amazing sort of story arc. And then Britain is on cloud nine with James. Apart from being counselor for everybody else, she's happy in her relationship, which I love. At least we didn't get to see as much of Kayla and Seb because I think we had them in the previous episode. But it was a good episode. It was a good episode, though it was heartbreaking at certain points. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye everyone.